When you think Splinter Cell, what comes to mind? Espionage, careful movement, methodical stealth? Think again! With its release in 2010, Splinter Cell Conviction radically transformed nearly everything about the franchise. And while it's incredibly fun in its own right, it's important to level set on this right from the beginning. It is fundamentally different from the first 4 games, and that's okay. Good old Sam Fisher gets lured into the spy game once again, as news about the death of his daughter lands him in the middle of a government takeover plot. He's pretty pissed throughout, and it shows. No longer are you prey to your enemies, you're the predator. The game's director expressed a desire to turn stealth from something that's passive into something that's active, and that's an apt mission statement. It's a dramatic pivot away from its predecessors, but one the game delivers on with confidence. Much of this is thanks to several new gameplay features, most notably, Mark and Execute. You can tag enemies throughout the field of play to track their movements, but after a melee takedown, you gain the ability to take out everyone you've tagged with a single shot apiece. They have to be in range, of course, and different weapons can affect the maximum number of active marks you can have, but the idea is always the same. Line them up and knock them down. The other piece is last known position. When you break line of sight with enemies, a silhouette appears indicating where they last saw you and where they will continue to focus and converge. This lets you get away, reset, flank, or otherwise re-engage on your own terms, which is easy thanks to incredibly fluid movement and level traversal. Sam can practically fly around a stage. Running, climbing, vaulting, and shimmying are all remarkably quick, and stringing together these movements feels fantastic. Admittedly, he's way too nimble here for a guy who's supposed to be in his 50s, but you'll just need to roll with it. Wish I could move like that. Jeez. We should also mention the excellent cover system. On controller, you essentially glue yourself to cover by holding the left trigger, and you move from cover to cover by pointing where you want to go and pressing a button. It's an incredibly natural system that's brilliantly intuitive and genuinely reliable. After playing for a while, it can be hard to go back to other games that don't work this way, and it still ranks as among the best implementations of cover we've ever seen in a third-person game. All of these mechanics give you lots of control over the flow of combat, and they really do let you employ aggressive, hunter-like tactics to clean house as you see fit. And clean house is the operative term here, as the game often forces you to engage with enemies with no stealthy options available. Series staples like shooting out lights and distracting enemies are still here, along with sonar goggles that can see through walls and a variety of gadgets, with the portable EMP so overpowered that you might as well call it the portable MVP, am I right? Some compare Sam here to a 2010 John Wick, and that one-man wrecking crew vibe is very much the point of the exercise. Despite its simplicity, the moment-to-moment gameplay is incredibly satisfying. The pace of movement, the visceral takedowns, the addictive appeal of taking out 4 dudes at once.
Phrasing?
It all coalesces wonderfully, and in a first for the series, you'll start looking forward to combat instead of dreading it. So as you've seen, most of these familiar gameplay systems are significantly streamlined, but none more so than Splinter Cell's famous use of light and shadow. Concealment is now binary. You're either hidden or you're not, and the screen desaturates to monochrome when the former is true. It's a simple way to convey a very simple mechanic, and that means you'll ultimately see a lot of the game in black and white, which tends to dull graphics that aren't very impressive to begin with. Though that's not to say that the rest of the presentation isn't good, because it very much is, especially in how immersive it becomes. The creative use of projected text to convey objectives, actions, and Sam's emotions throughout is very, very cool, and seamless transitions between cutscenes mask loading screens, propelling you forward in an urgent, unbroken flow. The plot it's propelling you through is best described as pulpy. Much like the gameplay, it's high-octane and unnuanced, with the familiar espionage elements both sidelined and not very interesting. Where it does excel is adding a personal through line via the theme of trust and the ultimate fate of Sam's daughter, reaching some real heights as the gameplay intertwines with and deepens these emotional moments. The lethal, hunter-like mechanics already complement Sam's seething mental state well, but they peak when a critical revelation sends him over the edge in the final third. The player is temporarily given unlimited and automatic mark and executes to convey his white-hot anger as everything around him literally and figuratively falls apart. It's an excellent touch. These emotional undertones also lay a great canvas for some smart and effective audio design. Actor Michael Ironside turns in what may be a series best performance here as a Sam Fisher fueled by betrayal and rage. NPC audio is creative as well. Enemies routinely provoke and mock Sam while searching for him, and they often reference recent plot developments with unique voice lines for each stage. Despite how pissed he is, Sam also retains his cheekiness, sometimes firing off one-liners when taking enemies hostage or after a tough firefight.
Bye-bye.
There are a few trouble spots, though. While you can go in all guns blazing, the shooting is a bit squishy and numb, not quite sharp enough to be the favorable option in most cases. That's on full display in a stealthless early level in Iraq that feels very out of place. It's a clumsy, misguided reminder of why you should not treat this as strictly a third-person shooter. The interactive interrogation sequences are an interesting idea and suitably violent, but they take place in very small, artificially blocked off areas, and they don't amount to much more than mildly interactive cutscenes. On the whole, the main campaign is short and very easy, completable in 5 hours or less with little resistance throughout. You'll need to play on the highest difficulty setting for even a semblance of challenge, and even then, it's not all that hard.
Hey, phrasing!
But there's more than just the main story. While dedicated co-op campaigns are often second-class citizens in games like this, Convictions is far from it, matching the quality of the main story thanks to its own unique and exclusive mechanics, like dual executes, where both players tag targets and simultaneously take out whichever ones they happen to be in range of. Oh, baby. If you go down and need a revival, you can sit up and keep shooting at enemies, though they'll take you out for good if they spot you and damage you further. There's even unique takedown and level interaction animations that Sam doesn't do. The plot is well thought out, feeding directly into the events of the main story. Its 2 to 3 hour length is just long enough for a nice little game night with a friend, and it ends with a truly excellent twist. It's worth your time. So, although Splinter Cell Conviction is more action movie than sneaky stealth fest, it's still an excellent game. Series purists generally dislike it for straying so far from the traditional Splinter Cell formula, which is fair, but if you're able to separate it from those earlier titles, it has a lot to offer. Different isn't always bad, and by confidently executing on a new premise with strong fundamentals in place, Ubisoft created a unique stealth action hybrid here that gets much more right than wrong. So when you put it all together, Splinter Cell Conviction gets 4 Gloobies out of 5. If we had smaller steps in our rating scale, 4 1/4 might make more sense. Short but oh so sweet, its visceral gameplay more than makes up for its rough edges, and its excellent co-op campaign further elevates what is an aggressive and innovative experience. Highly recommend you give it a look. Thanks so much for watching. Stay fresh, cheese bags. We'll catch you back here real soon.